Mhm. We are live with the second week, back to back, of Pulp Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep. Yes, it's unusual, but we're going to be away next week Sunday. There'll be no game, so we decided to keep on with this and try to plow through the prologue. Why am I wearing sunglasses? Because I lost my glasses today and I couldn't get new ones ordered in time. So I am wearing prescription sunglasses. If anybody who is wondering why I look douchier than usual,
Well, that
these are my backups.
Canada did legalize pot too, right?
There you go. I'll show you my pupils. Yeah, we did. So that's why I'm wearing sunglasses, and I'll probably have to retell that as the stream goes on and people come in going, why are you wearing sunglasses? But that is why. They're prescription. These are my backups.
Tell me your wife beat you on Father's Day.
Yeah, that's true too. Hey, I forgot to ask you guys to jump into the stream. If you can.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to load. It's not showing up on my Twitch yet.
If you'd be so obliged. So, we've got Masks of Nyarlathotep. I have forgotten to do this the last couple weeks, and Lee's been always good at just doing it. So, let's do some promotion time. Before we do that, I want to thank Fantasy Grounds for supplying the modules that we are using for this. Thank you so much. Very appreciated. We are having a great time using Fantasy Grounds for this game. So, it's time for a little bit of self-promotion. Let's go jump over to... Oh, I forgot to put your name on the character sheet, just an FYI. I didn't have time this weekend. But Charlie Peterson, aka Leopold, the... What is it, Leopold?
Which is more sarcastic than anything. But anyway, well, Instagram's not getting a post today. I'm done with it. Anyway, all right. So, but yeah, Leopold the Just on Facebook and Twitter. I post mostly junk, but I post news and cool Kickstarters and stuff like that too. Also, Journey Quest Season 4. If you've never seen Journey Quest or anything by Zombie Orpheus Entertainment or Dead Gentleman, go on to YouTube and watch it. It's hilarious. If you like tabletop RPGs, you will love pretty much everything that they have. But yes, Journey Quest Season 4 is on Kickstarter right now, and it did super well the first day, and then it's kind of been going a little steady since then. It definitely needs more people watching it, so check that out. Also, Fantasy Grounds Unity is projected to come out in December, hopefully. So let's hope for that.
Do you have an update on when beta testing is happening? Is it going to be in the next coming months?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. Oh, I will give you the official answer. We don't have an update about that at this time.
Okay.
But no.
Well,
anyway.
I was going to say it'd be great if we could jump into Unity during the beta test and run this.
Oh, we definitely will be able to do that. I will be able to arrange that for sure.
Yes, the shades. Yes, the shades. Thanks, Chuck, for the bits and calling out the shades. If you weren't here for the story, I lost my glasses today. These are prescription sunglasses. These are my backup till I get my new glasses tomorrow. Like I said, I'll be telling this over and over during the stream. Cool guy.
Cool guy GM. Cool guy spooks GM.
Right. I was gonna put like a little thing underneath my webcam saying like, yes, I know I'm wearing sunglasses. This is why, but I didn't have time to set it up. Cool. So that is what you've got going on, Lee. Get insane. Yeah, these guys are gonna go insane tonight. Bert, did you want to plug your podcast?
Oh, sure. Of Steam, Steel, and Murder, the podcast actual play where we do stuff. Lots of stuff.
He does do lots of stuff, and he does lots of great stuff. So,
where do you find that at?
It's of Steam, Steel, and Murder.simplecast.com or bluemagic.com is a direct link. BLUMAGIK.
Yeah, Bert's been doing this for like 9 years, so he has a hell of a backlog and library that you can go through and listen to a lot of very cool games that most people don't play. So if you're looking for some obscure titles, there's a good chance that he's run it at some point. So we will jump into the action here. Let's start by doing a recap. We had a doozy of a session last week. So who wants to jump in and start off the recap?
We shot stuff. We shot stuff in the face.
No,
I
you
don't
did more
remember
than
a
shoot
lot
things in the
other
face.
than sliding down banisters and trying to drop kick grannies.
That was towards the end.
Yeah.
I can anyway. Yes, that was the highlight of it. Thank you.
Now we end up going to college, where we are trying to find information. We're directed to a downstairs repository where some nice lady was supposed to show us some information. Turns out she's dead, quite dead, laying on the floor, and the guy's still around. Did we figure that was a distraction so that he could get to the professor? Is that what we decided? Or I was also thinking that it took something from the room as well, perhaps.
We're not sure yet.
Yeah, we're not sure.
John, did you want to fill that in? Do you remember what that piece of it?
So I know we talked. There was a golden rod that we had found
Here, I'll throw it up.
that I'm trying to get identified and where it fits in. There was some piece of paper we got that has not been identified yet, or read what it was we got off the woman. Then when we went back to the professor's room, he was being attacked by some vampiric or lamprey mouthed type creature. Battle ensued there, and then his head was taken by. Was it the other John? I can't remember who took it.
No, it was Max.
Max
who took its head. Harrison shot it to oblivion, but it started to kind of reconstruct before your eyes. So Max Steel grabbed its saber and hacked its head off.
And then we took it back to our apartment to dissect.
Thanks for the follow, Patrick. I appreciate it. Yeah. So, let's fill in the gaps there. You guys, went to the university. You met with Professor Sanchez, who was wanting to accompany Larkin on the journey to find this pyramid. He had concerns over Larkin being nothing more than a foreigner looking to pillage his country of its treasures and take them elsewhere, its antiquities. So you went with Jackson Elias to go meet with Professor Sanchez, and he told you that he believes he was just about to finally pinpoint the location of the pyramid in his findings, and that his associate Trinidad Rizzo was down in the a young student. She was down in the bowels, down in the archives, and asked you to go fetch her because she was gone for quite some time. You went down there, and you found her body, and it was sucked dry of all of its fat. It was just a shriveled sack of skin. And then you heard something dart out or leave the room, and that's when Harrison and Max took off. In the room, you found a note that was on Trinidad. That's the findings of herself and Professor Sanchez, and it was linking this golden rod that you mentioned, or ward, to the site itself. I'll put that on the screen as well for you guys. I'll share that again to refresh your memory, because this thing is key to everything going on here. So if you didn't read it last week, or you don't remember it, give it another read while we're doing the recap or while we're playing. You also noticed, you picked up on, it looked like there was a piece of recently burned flesh on that golden ward. Right? But it was cold to the touch when you touched it. That was one key thing.
Yeah, I believe I had scraped that flesh off into a bag, something separate.
Yeah. So with that, there was an attack on the grounds of the university, and Max and Jackson rushed outside to find a young woman who had been attacked as she had been slashed by something and was bleeding out. And with that, while they were investigating that, the others were down the stairs looking around, and Harrison was going classroom to classroom. There was a scream, a yell, gunshots that rang out from Professor Sanchez's office. Harrison was first on the scene, where he encountered Mendoza, the right-hand man of Larkin and suspected vampire, as he was... Here, let's share this picture. Had this circular disc-like mouth filled with fangs, and his tongue was piercing, or was lancing around, just about to pierce the skin of Professor Sanchez. And Harrison unloaded on this thing and just decimated it. Just you shot it in the face repeatedly. You went a little bit momentarily insane, and also grabbed the gun from the floor of Professor Sanchez's and continued to unload on it after the others had come into the room. And that is when Max went in there and grabbed the saber and decapitated this thing. The police were called, and you guys, some of you thought it wise to make a hasty retreat, with the exception of John and Jackson, Elias. You guys stayed behind to deal with the police. From there, look at that, 1 crit. Thank you for hosting. I appreciate it. Do you guys want to jump in from there? This is where the old lady and the banister and all that good stuff comes in.
Yeah. Are you talking to me? Sorry.
Whoever wants to jump in. That was
I can.
The professor and the university. You guys then went back to the hotel to go to Mendoza's room to get that thing that's in his bed.
Oh yeah.
And that's
where the old lady that runs the place was kind of not threatened, but told to kind of let them in the room with one man carrying a shotgun, offering $10, which she took and then left running, yelling for the policia.
Policia.
Yeah, and as soon as my character heard one of the few words in Spanish that he understands, he slid down a banister, ran out front, and then tried to drop kick the old lady to make her stop yelling for the police. But he failed at that miserably, and then just ran off and hid in an alleyway.
And that was after you aced. I think you had a great success or extreme success on your roll to go down the banister.
Oh, that was super cool. That was like an action movie, but it was like an action comedy.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah, and then you drop kicker and missed terribly.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And then the police rolled up, and everyone pretty much split up at that point, right?
Yeah.
Except for and the doctor stayed behind, and then he basically got took to a police station.
Harrison was picked up. All of you guys dispersed, got away. You aced past your stealth rolls, except for Harrison. He went into a bar. The police came in there, asked him some questions. They took him to the precinct, where he encountered John and Jackson Elias. And Jackson actually bailed him out. He fronted the money to get him out of the prison or the jail for the night.
Okay.
And then you guys met back up in, I want to say it was Max's room, and you decided what to do with the head of the vampire, quote unquote. Does that sound right? It got really dark there near the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's also was that episode that I decided to look into when they brought back the mask.
Yeah.
I decided to put it on.
Yeah.
And look into the eyes of an elder god, or to the tentacles of an elder god.
Yeah, you saw a vision. Thankfully, you passed your sanity roll, because if you hadn't, it would have been, what was it, a D100? I think I told you.
D100. But I did lose 9 out of 10 possible.
Yes. So you almost lost the max that you could have. And that was passing your sanity test. I was shocked that you did that. And we ended the session with that, I believe. And the plan, when we left off, was you were going to approach Larkin after the expedition leaves Peru. Not Peru. What town are we in? What city are we in again? Where's my map of Peru? We are in Lima. We're in Lima. There's the map. So once you guys get out of Lima, the plan was to, a few hours, I think it was, stop the convoy and pull him aside and confront him about Mendoza being a vampire and want to know what the hell is going on here, because you don't believe he's been upfront with all of everything he knows. Does that sound about right?
One question:
Yes.
Was handout 3 translated?
Handout 3.
That's the letter.
Yeah, so that was sticking out of her pocket. I think Charlie found that when he rolled her over and covered over the body. That was sticking out of her pocket. So you could, it says Spanish, but we'll say yes. You it's all been translated for you. Wentworth is your Spanish speaking and reading party member, and he would have he would have translated this for all of you.
I know this is obvious to everybody, but I just want to make sure that it was pointed out. One of the 4 conquistadors in the letter was named as Luis de Mendoza, which was the man that we killed.
Yes.
Who became the vampire. We talked about that, right?
You didn't talk about it, but it was when you grabbed the saber, remember?
Yeah.
John studied it with his archaeology, and he passed that, and he let you know, like, hey, this is ancient steel. This is reminiscent of what the conquistadors came overseas with. This thing belongs in a museum. So you kind of put 2 and 2 together there with that.
Based on this letter, there would be at least 2 more conquistadors potentially that are Hernandez Ruzzi and Diego Garudillo that were traveling there, right? And Paredo Velasco. So there could be 3 more in the letter that were talked about that were overcome by the hunger.
Yes.
Max will point this out, but for catching up purposes, we probably would have discussed that too.
Yes. And Jackson Elias is also now a believer of these things because he was a doubter. Even though he writes books about cults and strange happenings and things like that, he was like, vampires? Fat suckers? Right.
You know, funny enough, being a hardened criminal, Charlie still actually probably was one of the first people to believe this was real.
Right. Oh, Charles.
Yeah, him and his brother were haunted by ghosts when they were kids, so he definitely was like kind of fell right into being like, oh shit, I gotta watch out for this. I've got my gun.
I like how. What do you do with the head? I don't even remember. Did you guys dispose of the head?
We're gonna bury it outside of town, I think.
We could throw it in a river too, if there is one nearby.
Yeah,
someone in
that'll
chat suggested that last time, and so, you know, it's 1920s, no DNA and all that stuff. So just
no DNA, and you talked about burning it, but you're not going to find a flame or a fire hot enough to like get rid of those remains. So you still have the head. Okay. So that was Saturday. It is now Sunday. The trucks are set to arrive on Monday morning at 8 a.m. outside of the Hotel España, where Larkin and Mendoza are staying. Is there anything that you would like to do on the Sunday before setting out on the journey on Monday and your planned coup against Larkin?
Actually, yeah. Something we talked about at the end of the session last time about regaining sanity and interfacing with, some of your background elements to help you calm down and get sanity back on down. So we got a little bit over 24 hours. Could we do that?
Yeah, we could do that. So you have to do something with your background, is it not? From what I remember,
it's essentially doing something that you're comfortable with. It kind of soothes you and grounds you. So, like for instance, Harrison would like to basically go and muck around with some automobiles, get into repairing, just kind of lose himself in the everyday grind of taking apart an engine, rebuilding it, that sort of thing.
Right. Yeah.
So what I do is just kind of go around, find like an auto shop, and just kind of say, hey, let me work. Let me work for a day.
Just for free.
Yeah.
Just to get your mind off of the things that you've seen and experienced. Yeah, that works for me. That makes sense. And I'm going to say, yeah, no problem. You find a garage or an auto body place, automotive place, and you hand motion and things like that. Your intent, because you don't speak Spanish and a lot of the people here don't speak English, but you get it across that you want to work for free and they don't turn you away.
All right, there you go. I think it's a D10, but I'll look it up if other people want to describe what they're doing. Unless you know offhand.
Is my mic low?
Sounds good.
Not for me.
Sorry, Nick's in the chat and he's asked if my mic was low. If it is, I will turn it up. It's cranked all the way in.
I just unmuted my stream. I can hear you fine.
Okay. All right, we'll say it's Nick then until somebody else chimes in. Okay, yeah. Does anybody else want to do an activity that involves getting some sanity back? And if so, what does that look like?
I'll let anyone else go first. I kind of already know what I want to do, but if anyone else has anything they want to go, then go for it. I can go last. I talk a lot anyway, so.
I'm gonna rest. I saw some freaky crap, so.
Max will study his occult journals and try and make sense of this. That was part of his background, so would that count?
Yeah, that would count. Go back through your notes and see if anything kind of lines up, and
yeah, and he's going to make a detailed he's going to memorialize everything that happened, and kind of try and analyze it. His what makes him happy is an understanding and context. So he'll start to write everything down and draw diagrams and line things up.
A thoughtful haiku, they say in the chat.
Yes.
There you go. Yeah, I think last week you were saying that you were like making drawings, everything, and notes. It was either you or John who was doing that.
I think it's Max, but I'll help with stuff like that too.
Okay. Yeah. So anybody wants to do that, we can go ahead.
Charlie is going to take a look at some of the artifacts we found initially and basically try and appraise them for their worth in some sort of calming, like, I'm just like, I don't know, calming activity, where he just sort of sits there by himself, like examining the artifacts.
Examining and appraising?
Yeah, like basically, like he's really into artifacts, partially, mostly for how much they're worth, but partially, he did go to college a little bit and was into archaeology.
Yeah, you talk to me about that. I'll help you out with like pointing things out to look for.
Yeah, definitely. And he has studied a little bit about antiquarianism and the different value of antiquities. So I kind of want to appraise them basically. And would that count as a calming task as well to recover sanity?
Yeah, it ties into your character. I would agree with that.
Okay, basically kind of simpler times when he was able to just like enjoy himself in college and wasn't always running from the cops and stuff. Sort of reminds him. Sure.
And while we're doing this, while Bert's looking it up, we can also do our luck recovery. That's where you roll a D100, and if the roll is higher than your current luck score, you add 2d10 plus 10 points to your luck. If it's equal to or less, you do 1d10 plus 5.
I put the rule there in the chat. Basically, you make a successful sanity roll, you regain 1d10 sanity. But if you fail your sanity roll, you lose 1 sanity.
Oh, all right.
So basically,
what sanity rolls.
Yeah, you could be so messed up that even the thing you find solace in just doesn't do it.
I think everybody's sanity is quite high right now.
So are we rolling both sanities and the D100?
So do your sanity first. If you pass, you get to roll the D10 and add that to it. If you fail, you lose 1.
I got 8 of my 9 lost back.
What? Oh, now I need to do something else to take those back.
Don't worry, I'll give you plenty of opportunity.
All right,
I got 5 back.
Once everybody's done that, then we'll do our luck, which is what you do at the beginning of the session. So that's the D100, and if it's higher than your current luck score, so we'll get everybody to roll it. Tell me if it's higher or lower. We'll figure it out.
I already rolled mine higher.
If anybody rolls lower, tell me.
Man.
Okay, Max. So Max, you roll 1d10 plus 5, and you gain that many luck points. Everybody else, 2d10 plus 10, and that's how many luck points you add onto your.
If you fail, you get 2d10.
If you fail, if you roll, yes. If you roll higher, which is failing, you get 2d10 plus 10. If you roll lower, technically, which is passing, you only get 1d10 plus 5.
What
You
is the
cannot go
max
over
level?
99. 99 is the max you can have for luck.
All right. So I'm at 99.
Duff's in the house. What's going on, Duff? All right. And don't ask about the glasses, Duff. Don't ask about the glasses.
His wife gave him a shiner for Father's Day.
Yeah. All right, so we've got that out of the way. We've done some sanity regain. We've done our luck gain for the session. You guys did do some shopping previously. I remember buying tents and some other gear for the expedition. And it was Harrison who had the idea of paying the shopkeeper to watch his stuff until you guys left on Monday. Pink eye. I have had pink eye more times this year than I ever have had in my life. Don't even talk to me about pink eye. Small
Children.
kids, man. Small kids. It's terrible. Changing diapers, yeah. Yeah, so was there any
Everyone
other...
loses sanity because of this conversation.
Yeah. What does anybody else want to do any other shopping? Because once Monday rolls around, it's 8 a.m. and the trucks are gonna arrive, and I believe you guys you're pressing forward to Puno.
Max, did you need some more film material?
Yes, actually, I was just about to type out, and he's buying this with the rich guy's money, Merrick's money, I guess. But he's getting chalk, bright chalk. If you can find glow in the dark chalk, but I don't know if
No.
does that exist? Okay.
No.
He's getting chalk. He's getting twine, the real thin stuff that can be used to kind of trail behind you. Chisel and hammer, and he's gonna. Do we have flashlights yet?
I don't know. Did you buy flashlights of character creation?
I think you got flashlights for us last time before we went to the.
No. Have flashlights been invented?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so batteries and okay, so lots of that because based on this letter, sounds like we're going to be doing a dungeon crawl. Lanterns and oil.
Max has done his homework. Yeah, lanterns are going to be more readily available. You will be able to find some flashlights in Lima in the 1920s, but they are going to be pricier. But you're leaning on Wentworth, you said, to buy your goods, or your rich party member?
Yeah, is Wentworth the rich guy? He seems like the rich guy.
Yeah, and he's not here, so you can just spend his money freely.
Yeah.
How about some of those caving lights that don't require? I'm talking about the old style that it's got like a stone that ignites and it causes a gas, and I forget what they're called. They last a really long time. They don't require fuel. That's what I'm getting at.
There you go. All of those. You'll buy all of the ones available in Lima. All right. So
can we get a canary?
Sure.
Canary in a coal mine.
Yeah, definitely. We started a notes. Just to remind you guys, if you click on notes, there is one that started there with party items. So you can feel free as we're playing to add on to that with the things you're buying. You're asking for all things that would be readily available even in Lima in the 1920s. These aren't unusual objects, so and they would be well underneath the spending limit that you guys have, or some of you have, for the day. And Wentworth has been very forward and upfront with buying things for the group also. So I'm fine if you guys want to do your shopping list. Let's do it as long as it's within reason. The items.
And 10 shares of U.S. Steel.
How about a machete?
Yeah, you could easily. But machetes are cheap.
Yeah, actually, that was something that Max wanted every party member to have one machete because he's afraid of these vampires.
And Max kept the sword, right?
Yep, but I got everybody else a machete.
Okay.
How much damage do those do?
Oh, why do you ask me silly questions like that? I can look it up for you. A machete.
Thank you.
It's in the items. You can drag it to your character sheet.
Oh yeah, thanks. So
Knife, large, parentheses, machete.
It's all in Fantasy Grounds. It's one of the bonuses of running a game at Fantasy Grounds. You have the books available to you at all times as players. Take that, other virtual tabletops.
Yeah,
We don't
and
supply
here
them with
I am.
modules.
Here I am, not knowing that.
Yeah, the guy
So-
who we won't
What's
say.
up, Doug?
Yeah, we won't say. Hey, it's labeled correctly this time. It's labeled Fantasy Grounds. If Doug ever decides to watch our game again,
He
Mr.
won't.
Mr. Davidson, thank you so
Whoops.
much. Please watch our game again.
We love you.
Yes, we do. All right. So, is that all the gear you guys want? Do you want to buy any other weapons? Do you want any other guns? I know some of you carry large guns. Go ahead if you want to buy a smaller gun, a pistol or something like that. As long as it's era appropriate and it's a common weapon, I'm fine with it. We don't
Tommy
need
guns.
No, you won't find Tommy guns in Lima.
Can we get a shot? Like, what? Do I need a proficiency to do a shotgun or
Yes.
anything?
You could do things unproficient, but
Like, am I proficient with my automatic, with my 45 automatic?
yes, you are.
Oh, okay, but I'm not proficient with the shotgun.
Correct.
Okay.
But yeah, we don't need to sit here for half an hour doing shopping. So you guys add things to the list. If it makes sense, I'm good with it. People don't want to watch us shop for 45 minutes. We
No
can just
way.
shuffle along. All right.
I'm getting a dare.
My list is in the notes. So
I
And that's
can't
a-
edit. Whoever owns the notes, click your little lock at the top right corner so that everyone can edit.
It's public and it's unlocked.
Oh, there was more than one, I guess.
All right. So, anything else that you guys want to do in the next 24 hours? Nope. Okay.
Nope.
So 8 a.m. Monday morning rolls around. You head on over to the Hotel España. Larkin is standing outside in his white suit and his hat, and he's happy to see the group of you. Oh, what have you been up to? I haven't seen you for the last 3 days since we had dinner. I'm sure you've been keeping busy, and it looks like you're prepared. You have lots of gear. Behind him are 3 large trucks, covered trucks for the expedition. He says, here's Harrison. One of those is yours, and I have 2 other drivers that I've hired. The first one up there is yours. Feel free to throw your gear in one of the trucks, gentlemen. We set out. We are going to be taking the coast all the way to Puno. So we'll be going down to the west side of Peru. It is
Let's
it's a
take
3
a-
days journey.
I'd like to take a look at the trucks before we get started, if you don't mind, sir. Just to make sure we don't have any unexpected surprises along the trail.
Oh, well, I've paid very good for these trucks. They are brand new, but if you feel the need to look them
Begging
over,
your pardon, sir, but I just spent the better part of a day working in one of your automotive shops. Yeah, I'd like to look at the
Just
trucks,
like
please.
yeah,
I second that. I second that. He definitely should check them over.
yeah. Larkin lifts his hat and dabs a handkerchief on his sweaty brow and sure, but let's not take too long, fellas. We've got a long journey ahead of us here.
Just a quick look. It's all I require, sir.
Sure. Larkin seems to be in very good spirits right now. He is the complete opposite of the tail end of the evening when you saw him last time, when you knew he was, well, you now know he was needing a fix. He seems very energetic, very spry, very alive right now. So you want to go ahead and look the trucks over, Harrison?
Yeah, just make sure everything looks kosher. Nothing looks like it's about to fall apart. Also, making sure there's nothing extra added to.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. What do we want?
Go
to
ahead and
roll
make a
for?
mechanics roll.
Yeah, is there a mechanic? I see a mechanic repair. Is there a
Mechanical repair. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and make that for me.
Oh yeah, quite easily. Hard success.
Yeah. So you look these things over top to bottom, inside and out. You kick the other guys out of their trucks and you take a look inside their cabs and everything, and everything seems to be tip top. Like Larkin said, these things are brand new, pristine. Off the factory line, probably put on a train or a boat, or both, actually, to get all the way down here, and shipped straight here. They're low mileage. These things are good to go and should easily make the journey, the 3-day journey across Peru to Puno.
I just hang out of the cab of my truck and just give everybody the thumbs up.
All right, so you're all directed to. You can choose whichever truck you want to ride in. You can ride up front with the driver, or you can go in the back, in the covered back of these large wagons or big trucks, and travel. Larkin says he wants to ride with you, Harrison, because you're in the lead truck. He wants to ride in the cab with you.
Max is going to ride with Larkin too.
Okay, yeah. Larkin says, "Oh, it'll be a little tight in there, but I don't see why not. It's going to be a much more comfortable journey on a padded seat."
Charlie is probably, due to his paranoid nature, he's going to ride in the rear vehicle in the back, if possible.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Looking, just kind of eyeballing to see if anyone's following us the entire
Sure.
journey, basically.
Hey, who's the guy that shot up the vampire the first session?
Harrison.
That was me.
Okay, and you're going to be with Larkin?
Yeah.
Okay, who else do we have that's good with a gun?
That'd be me, old sport.
And are you with one of the drivers?
I'll actually be riding in the rear vehicle with Charlie in the rear.
Okay,
We're both good with guns.
all right, one of you, Max says he'd like one of you to be with one of the drivers, and he's going to take the other. There's three drivers, two other drivers, right?
Yes, there's 3 trucks total. Harrison's in the lead truck, and there's two other drivers, NPCs, hire drivers, other Harrisons.
We don't know if these guys are muscle or not. So
Vampires.
Max is going to go ahead and take one of them, and then he'd like one of the other 2 shooters to take the third.
All
In the
right.
cab.
I'll ride in the cab with the second driver or the last driver.
All right, then Max will take the second driver.
Yeah, as soon as you insist that Charlie possibly be one of the people to not be in the rear vehicle, he kind of starts to act very strange and kind of jittery, and just basically refuses to leave the back vehicle because he has to make sure that no one else is following him and everything is on the up and up, basically.
Max says that's a great idea.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I'll take whichever's got the best padded seat. Says that y'all wouldn't begrudge an old man the comforts of a padded chair, would you?
Of course.
Yeah. All right. So, who's in the first truck with Larkin, Harrison, and?
I guess John will go.
Okay, truck 1. Just make my notes here. Who's in the cab of truck 2?
That's Max.
Okay.
And he's got his he'll have his 45 ready to go.
Of course, and his sword. Where's your sword stowed in with your goods?
Nope, sword's with me up front.
How you hide this? Like Highlander style? It's just like there, and you just.
He wears a suit, and so he's got the pommel sticking out of the. He's got it strapped onto his back. He's got the pommel sticking out.
That's going to be very uncomfortable to sit with that on your back.
Yeah, you're right.
3 days.
He'll sit with it on his in front of him.
So you're just going to be walking around with the sword. Okay. All right. Truck 3. Who is sitting in the cab?
That'd be Henry.
Henry. Okay. And Charlie, you're in the back of truck.
Yeah.
Truck 3.
Yeah, and I'm basically just sitting back there cleaning my new like 32 caliber revolver that I purchased in town because I imagine it's not very clean.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not brand new. I got it at a pawn shop.
Yeah,
it's some sketchy part of town. So
right. Yeah, it's seen some action in its day. So you're doing some maintenance on it.
Yeah, and it's gonna go in my boot. I fashioned my boot to have like a small sheath in the side of it.
As a side note, several weeks later, there's a horrible shooting at one of the local prisons when apparently a prisoner gets a hold of an automatic weapon that was stuck inside of a toilet inside the jail cell and murders a bunch of inmates.
What? Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Okay. We'll approach that if it ever comes up. So, you guys set out on your journey. You leave Lima, and you make your way to the coast, to the very rough dirt highway that goes on the southern coastline down Peru on the west side of the Andes. It is a very, even from the start, it is a perilous road and journey from the onset. How long do you guys want to drive before you set your plan into motion?
Before we start, did we agree upon a stop for lunch or something?
You had that conversation with Larkin, and how many hours? What's
So
the
4 hours
interval?
in, 4 or 5 hours. We'll stop for lunch. and then
Stop,
we'll
stretch
deal
your
with it then.
legs.
Right.
Open up your sack lunch and have a meal. All right. So 4 hour mark, is that when things are gonna go down? Is that the idea here, Max?
Yes.
Okay. And is everybody in on this, or is this just Max who's plotting it?
No, I'm Charlie. That's all I would say. Anything that basically slightly resembles a Grand Theft Auto game, Charlie is down.
Okay. Okay, so you're all in on it. So you guys set out down these dusty, winding highways up through along the coastline into the mountains. You are rapidly gaining altitude. Also, you're going from sea level up into the mountains, so your ears are popping. The terrain and the countryside is changing rapidly from what as you're continue on, and then it's turning into very mountainous terrain. This isn't even the foothills. You're just getting like right into the mountains. So climbing higher and higher, and the further you guys go in, even though it's 4 hours, you're seeing less and less people. It's more and more mountains with the odd little lake here and there. You've got some grasslands. You see farmers with their herds every once in a while. And the 4 hour mark hits. Harrison, you've been watching your watch intently, knowing what the plan is and what's going to go down. So at the 4 hour mark, you give a signal out the window to the other drivers that you're going to be stopping when you find a good area to pull over.
Yep.
And you guys find a little clearing, a little grassy area, and you pull the truck up off the highway and onto it, Harrison, and pull over. And Larkin, it's time for a break already. And okay, yeah, I'm very glad we planned this. And he's a little antsy at this point. He's sweating. He's antsy. The two of you notice who's in the cab with him. I'm gonna go. I must relieve myself. Pardon me, gentlemen. I'm gonna find a place away from the others. And he hops out.
You go ahead. It's been a long drive.
Yeah,
I'll catch somebody's eye and do the the hand gesture of watch this guy.
Yeah, he's scratching his arm and he's all fidgety. And okay, yes, little elusive spot. I'll be right back. And he hops out of the cab and he starts making his way off towards a tree line. There's a little bunch of trees, and he starts walking over in that direction, pretty fast. And you could see him fiddling with the pocket on his jacket. He's reaching into it.
Did anybody catch my signal to have him followed?
I did, but Max comes around to the other side of the door where his driver is, helps him out. While he was driving, he was playing with his twine and his switchblade. He cut 3 lengths of rope that are sufficient to tie hands, and he's got those handy. He's put his blade away. He gets his pistol out. He comes around, and when the guy steps down out of the vehicle,
Yep.
He cocks the hammer back, and he's 10 feet away, enough that the guy can't just turn and knock the gun out. And he says in a calm voice, if you do what I say, you will not get harmed. Is the guy wearing a jacket?
Yeah, he's wearing a white suit jacket. I'm going to say also Jackson Elias is in the cab with you. Max.
Okay.
He's in the second
Max is
thing.
going to say, remove your jacket and drop it behind you. Do not turn around.
He turns. He hears the click, and his arms go up, and he turns slowly. And
So then, if he, is it, can he? He'll say, "Do you speak English?"
are you asking Larkin?
No, I'm speaking. I'm talking to the guy.
Oh, I thought you were saying this to Larkin. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
You're doing this to the driver.
Right? Yeah, they could be muscle. We don't know if they're armed.
Right.
We got to eliminate them.
Yeah. Even if he doesn't
Jesus.
speak, English, you've got Jackson Elias in the truck with you, who speaks Spanish fluently. So he'll translate.
Tell him to get his jacket off and put his hands on his head and then frisk him.
Okay. Oh, Max.
Can we? Charlie is. Where is Charlie at in relation to all this? Is he just sort of basically hopping out of the truck as
Sure.
this sort of
Yeah,
Okay.
they're pulling over, and as it comes to a stop, you're hopping out. Do you want to I was going to say intimidate. You've got a gun pointed at this guy point blank, and you're just threatening him. Yeah. He's not going to fight you. You're sitting next to him with a gun pressed up against him.
No. I'm 15 feet back. I don't want to.
Oh, so you're waiting for the driver to hop out? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the driver to hop out, and when he gets out, we're gonna tell him to take his coat off and frisk him, and then tie his hands and sit him down. I just want to take him out of the equation so that when we deal with Larkin, we don't have to worry about fighting two muscleheads.
Gotcha.
Two mooks.
What were you trying to spot hidden for on there, Henry?
No, sorry. I was trying to click stealth because I was gonna follow.
Larkin?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's run through what everybody's doing then. So we've got Larkin going off to probably go get a fix or talk to an elder god or who knows what, or vampires. We've got Max, who wants to hang back and at gunpoint 15 feet away tell the driver to be quiet and be tied up. Henry, you want to trail Larkin. Charlie, what do you want to do?
Thank you. Okay. All right. I want to clarify something first. So our plan is to basically hijack this expedition and do it ourselves. I
believe so. I don't want to speak for the party. Jackson Elias was saying that he wanted to continue on and get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, Max is. I'll just retcon this since we didn't get a chance to talk about it. But Max's plan would be to secure the two drivers and not harm them, because we don't know if they're part of this. But they may feel a loyalty to protect Larkin, and we don't want to get them hurt. So as quick as we can, we want to get them tied up and sat down, and then we want to confront Larkin. We want to find out what he knows, and he may be a useful idiot in this case, or he may be complicit. But regardless, we want to find out what his role is, what he knows, and then we will keep him, have him guide us there. But we're not going to let him. He could be marching us right into a trap.
Out of curiosity, do we feel that like violence is the best way to handle that situation? Like we could just like ask him some questions, like, "Hey, bud, we know about this. Wanna like, come clean?"
Well, that's fine. But if these guys are armed, then we're gonna have a gunfight.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay, so
I mean. The least violent way is to exert maximum force, get control of the situation. And no, I'm not kidding. This is how Max would do this.
Yes.
It's fine.
John's going to play the whole kind of ambivalence, just like not know what's going on. He knows what's going down, and he'll have his pistol in his pocket, but he's just going to get out to like start eating a sandwich and acting like the gentle old man that he typically is.
Okay.
Part of Max's background was Max was on a police force for a while before he became a private dick.
Makes sense.
He thinks like a cop.
Right.
Cops are right, and he's going to take control of the situation.
Okay, so there are two drivers, correct?
Correct.
Where is the second driver in relation to?
So you're in you're in truck 3. You're in the back of truck 3. Nobody has said what they're doing with your driver.
Okay, I will go over to the passenger side. Was anyone sitting in that?
Henry.
Henry was, but he's off stalking our Larkin.
Okay, so basically he gets out, and then this is just funny how it plays out in my head. Anyway, so he basically hops out, door shuts. A few seconds later, my character hops in, and looks over at the driver and says, "Hey, how you doing?"
Let me. Okay, he speaks English. He goes, "Hey, pal, what do you want?"
I want you to put your fucking hands up and get out of the car. And he pulls pulls his pistol out and just sort of kind of flicks it to the side a bit, like nudging, get out, basically. And then just gonna wait and see what the guy, how the guy responds.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna have this all play out. This is essentially simultaneously. So let's go ahead, and we will start with the stealth roll from Henry. We'll go down my list here. We'll mark things off as they happen. Hit your buddy, pal. Hit your guy.
And I say, unlike my friends up there, I don't mind capping you.
Jesus.
Finally, someone who understands my English spoken threats. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Make me your stealth roll, please, Henry. You've stalked many prey across the globe. Whoo! Extremes. Oh yeah. You break off. You're moving through the bush silently. This is not your first rodeo. You have hunted lions on the savannah. You have taken down tigers in India. You have hunted the most dangerous game in the world. And a junkie looking for a fix is nothing to you. All right. Harrison, I'm sorry, what were you doing?
Harrison's actually hanging out in the cab of his car. He's still got it idling, foot on the gas, ready to ram something if he needs to. Got his gun out, laying on the seat next to him.
Right. And I'm going to say, John, did you get out, or are you just sitting there eating your
No,
your
I got
sandwich?
out to stretch my legs and maybe walk to a tree to relieve myself and eat a sandwich. But I'm keeping an eye on everything to be that, like, if somebody comes out of nowhere, I'm kind of the old dude that like pull out a gun, like, no.
Sure. Okay, so we will jump to Max. So your guy gets out and he's stretching his legs, he's walking around, he's just kind of surveying the area and looking around, and you're standing back towards the truck and you've got your gun pointed at him 15 feet away. With like what? Your gun in one hand and twine in the other, and like, what do you say to him?
Max, who's with Max? One of the guys said he was there.
I don't think anybody's with you, Max. I think he's flying solo.
Was there.
You're on your own.
All right, no problem. Well, Max will. Does this guy speak English? Max will say.
Great question.
Raise your hands, please.
He does.
Okay, we'll say. Raise your hands, and you don't need to get hurt. We're here for Larkin.
And that's with the click of your hammer.
Yeah.
Raise your hands, please. Is your character Canadian?
That was good.
No, actually, he's from Philadelphia, but he doesn't want to shoot this guy.
No.
Just put your hands up.
You're just very polite for someone who's threatening someone. Yes. So yeah, he turns around slowly and sees you pointing the gun. He's like, "What the hell is going on here?" And he starts making a bit of a ruckus.
Yep. Take your coat off. Let me see if you're packing.
Hey! This guy's pointing a gun at me, and he starts shouting.
Okay. He's going to point at his knee and say, "Let me count to 3. If the jacket's not off, you're kneecapped. 1, 2."
Roll me an intimidate.
Okay. I don't even know if I have intimidate.
It's really low.
What bonus do I get if I blow his knee out?
What do you mean bonus?
Synergy, man. Synergy.
So, Harrison, you're looking in the side mirror and you're seeing this because it's the truck behind you. You're seeing this play out. Charlie, you're in the cab of your truck and you're telling the guy to get the hell out.
Okay. This is not a good roll for me.
You are.
No, I failed. Oh,
You're.
no.
No, you really failed. Do you want to spend 65 of your luck to make it a success?
No, because if I'd have shot my bullet, that'd have been a success. So I have plan B.
Charlie, you're like next to this guy, so you are much more intimidating. Like he has nowhere to run. He's in a cab with you, so he follows suit. He puts his hands up, and did you asked him to get out?
I told him.
You told him to get out. So yeah. With his hands up, he lowers one hand slowly to open the truck. Do you trust him to lower his hand?
No. I am actually going to, due to my paranoid nature, you're going to hear that disclaimer a lot. I'm probably going to shoot him, or no, I'm not going to shoot him.
This escalated quickly.
Okay, all right. I changed my mind. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to shoot the window out instead. The driver's side window.
This is gonna. God damn it!
So the window next to him, because he's like up against the door, right? He's in the driver's seat. So you're gonna shoot the window that he's essentially pressed up against.
Yeah. I'm gonna shoot it out. And I'm gonna say, I said hands up.
Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna make. Well, let's roll, because if it's a critical failure or something, you're gonna shoot him. So go ahead and roll.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I was gonna give it to you, but if you critically fail, this could go terribly wrong. And you succeed. So you hear a bullet ring out, the sound of broken glass, and Charlie loudly shout, "Get out!" And in the meantime, Max, fire your gun. What a power move! It's true, that is a power move. Max, fire your gun. You're aiming for a kneecap, right?
Well, what's the guy doing? Is he going to?
He's standing there. He's got his hands up, and you're 1, 2, 3. You failed your intimidation, so he's not taking his coat off.
All right. Well, then, yeah, we'll go ahead and shoot him in the. I don't want to. I'm going to shoot to just do a superficial wound. I don't want to hurt. I don't want to kill him.
It is his kneecap. That's going to be hardly superficial.
So
yeah, that's what he's not going to shoot him in the kneecap. So, He's going to go for a graze on the on his leg.
So just forget that whole shooting the ground near him to intimidate him. Just shoot him right in the knee.
So this is going to be a hard difficulty level. So that means you need a 40 or lower to succeed. Okay.
Okay.
Because this is essentially a called shot. It's a general called shot. You're not trying to kill him, right? So anywhere that's not vital is what you're aiming for.
Right. All right. So let's go ahead and.
What a power move. I did not expect this.
He fails and shoots him in between the eyes.
Extreme success. Oh, wow. 6. Where do you want to hit him? You tell me where you... It's exactly what you were aiming for. You're going to nail it.
Pinky toe.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna shoot him right in the the foot halfway between the big toe and the ankle.
Wow, that's very specific.
Well, it won't actually kill him or anything, but it'll hurt like hell and it'll stop him in his tracks.
Mike, I love having you in my games. Thank you. That's great. Okay, yeah. You boom, fire, and oh god damn it, he shouts and falls to the ground, clutching his foot. Meanwhile, a shot rings out from the truck behind yours, and glass shatters, and the driver he spills out, Charlie. He's not hit, but he spills out of the cab, like just terrified.
Okay, yeah, and I'm gonna slide over and follow after him and basically escort him up next to where his other friend is, who just got shot. Who's
screaming on the ground in pain. We're gonna jump to you, Henry. So you're coming up on Larkin. Shots have just rung out from behind you. You can see Larkin up ahead. His head spins around when he hears the bullets, but you see him fiddling with a syringe and a vial. And he's now panicked, but he's trying to still fill this thing as fast as he can while looking in the direction of the shooting. You gonna shoot him too?
No, this guy's too important to let him blow his vein out on this shit. I'm gonna step into the clearing. I'm gonna say, Mr. Larkin, sir. And I've got my rifle slung. I tell him, you look a bit unsteady. Let me help you with that, sir.
You want to? So are you?
Well,
are you?
Yes.
Are you
It's
walking
better than-
forward? And
Yes,
you're gonna help
walking
him
forward.
shoot up with his heroin?
Yes.
Okay. I was not expecting that either. Okay. Here, let me do that for you. Find me a good vein. Okay.
Well, the last thing I need is him messing up and
Oh, man.
our only lead dying. Man, I missed an opportunity to kill a vampire. There are only 3 others in the world. I need this head for my
You don't know
trophy
that.
case.
Yeah, assist move on drugs use. I'm actually gonna say, yeah, we're gonna do some like medicine here. This is as far as I know, Lieutenant Henry MacArthur is not a junkie and is not experienced at putting things in his veins.
Oh,
you have a
could
one in medicine?
Could I do first aid instead? You know, I would have learned, you know, in basic training, I learned how to apply an insulin syringe, you know, in case somebody was dehydrated or bleeding out, you know.
Was there insulin then?
I don't know. Well,
You make me Google this all the time. I'm literally just.
No, but you are a soldier. You're an ex-soldier. So
yes.
Like, yes.
1922.
Opiates.
January 11th.
To take the pain away, we'll say.
Insulin was just invented on January 11th.
Stab him in the leg and push the syringe in.
Yeah. So go ahead. Yeah, make me a first aid roll.
We're gonna learn so many historical facts about when things were invented.
Right.
While
right.
playing this game.
You got it. So he's nervous and he's like, what? And he tries to hide it. He tries to pack it away. What are you talking about? And he's rolling down his sleeve. You see the track marks on his arm. Help me with what?
Henry says to him, "Sir, I am not here to judge your vices. I'm just here to make sure that everything goes smoothly. One, I kill things for a living. I'm hardly concerned about a little bit of heroin."
What's happening over there? Do you know what's going on? Why are there shots?
I would assume your drivers have been murdered, sir. But I can't say for certain.
Oh, that was excellent. I love that.
Yeah, considering the 2 people who basically hijacked the drivers, honestly, that's a good assessment.
I assume they murdered. Okay, he oh god, I can't take this. And he's going in withdrawals. He's just sweating profusely and he's scratching and he's
shoot it into his neck.
And you walk over and you can easily grab it from him and you fill the syringe from the vial and
I take it and I do as much. I say, "Old sport, I'm gonna help you out, and then you and me are gonna have a nice conversation."
Okay, fine, just don't kill me like you did the drivers. What do you want? You can have whatever you want, just don't kill me.
Only answers and for you to calm down. And with that, I give him I give him some heroin.
Yeah, sure. You administer the heroin. Did you see in the chat there? Now see here, good sir, it appears you're attempting to, as the savages say, get crunked. But it's just a better vein than the dried up dust tunnel for more vital capillary, I spy.
It's beautiful.
Yes, so you administer it, and all of a sudden he's, there's relief, and he's relaxed all of a sudden. And he comes with you over to the trucks, and you see Harrison, have you gotten out of the truck now at this point?
No, I'm still waiting in case someone tries to run or someone tries to start up the truck.
Okay.
Did Max get his guy subdued and?
Oh yeah,
tied up?
he's tied up. He's on the ground bleeding, and but he's tied up.
Does he have any weapons on him?
You search him. Yeah, he does. He does have. He has a pistol on him. They both have pistols on them.
Okay, and good.
And conquistador swords. No, I'm just kidding. No, they have pistols on them.
Charlie is going to walk up to Larkin and who is escorting Larkin? Henry.
Henry.
Okay, so Henry and Larkin. I'm gonna after I've escorted the driver, whom I refrained from shooting. After I escort him over to where the other bleeding out, screaming guy is, I'm gonna put my gun back in the sheath and walk over to where Henry and Larkin are, and I'm gonna say, "So, what happened down there?"
Oh, we just took some time to pray and relax and.
Yeah, that's boring. That's boring. Now listen. Larkin, here's the deal. We're taking this shit over.
What
all right?
Are you here to rob me? I don't have anything on me. What?
No,
what do you
we're
want?
not here to rob you. We're here to steal the expedition from you because we figure you're probably one of them vampires.
A vampire? What are you talking about?
We already killed a damn vampire.
That's
and
ridiculous.
We figured there might be some more. We figured we'd go kill them and then rob them. You see, but we're taking this expedition over regardless. You're not in charge anymore.
Vampires don't exist. You don't even know where the pyramid is.
Oh yeah,
Max will pull out the head and show him his friend and say, "Do you recognize this guy?"
Yeah, you see that's a vampire head. Proof. Go look at it.
Okay, so you go to the back of the truck, grab the head, and just kind of roll it to his feet.
I'm gonna walk it out and I'm gonna hold it up to him.
What's in the box?
Stick it right in front of his face.
Okay, so remember that it's mangled, right? You guys dissected it. You cut it open. So this doesn't look like Mendoza anymore. Just a reminder. Okay. You did do an autopsy on it.
Mm-hmm.
So you pull this thing out, and he's like, "Oh, good God, what is that?"
It's Mendoza.
It's a vampire head.
What? Oh, what are you? Get that away from me!
All right, you got to talk to us, bud. We need to understand what's been going on here. Explain to us why you're doing this expedition. Who's paying for it? It's not you. We've been to your room. You didn't have a single shred of planning in that room. You're a junkie. You couldn't plan this if you wanted to. Tell us everything and we'll let you live. We don't really care about you. We want to figure this out, but we can't trust you. So help us to trust you.
Yeah. Are you guys? Do you have him at gunpoint, or what are you doing to?
No, we're just talking to him now. Where's he gonna go?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything. Dear Lord, you murdered a man and you cut off his head.
No. Listen, just shut your damn mouth. All right, listen. I want you to get real close to this conch right here on the ground, and I want you to open up its mouth, and I want you to look inside, okay? And when you see what the hell we saw, you'll understand that this is a damn vampire, and you won't be saying that we chopped the man's head off. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, TT2KB. He's repulsed and he's flinching, and you're like, are you taking like his head and kind of like putting it in front of it?
I draw my machete out and just like start opening it up to show him the teeth inside of it.
Yeah, you take your machete and you kind of peel back the cheek, like what's left of a cheek, and you kind of take and you open the mouth a little, and the rows of teeth are showing. And he's repulsed.
Yeah, this thing was sucking fat out of a dude's chest or some shit. I don't know where it was. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this guy over here, this brave knight of a man over here, took a sword and chopped its head off. Well, after he shot it about 20 times. I don't remember exactly what happened. Anyway,
he did the shooting in Maxwell Point.
Oh, regardless, this thing ain't got no head. I don't remember who did what, but it's dead.
Larkin, listen. You're obviously fronting. You're the cutout here, okay? No way you were the one behind this expedition. Just tell us what you know, and you might get out of this okay. But you got to stop lying this instant, or you're going to end up like your drivers.
Charlie is going to deck Larkin and then start pulling his cheek open to look at his teeth.
Whoa. Okay. All right.
God.
All right. Yeah, you sucker punch him, and just all of the wind is sucked out of him, and you start like sticking your finger in his mouth. And as you're doing that, he starts shaking his head and gets your finger out of his mouth, and his head flies back. And when it comes to, he straightens out. His posture is much more upright and much more confident than it was before, and his eyes open, and you see that his eyes are completely black.
Oh shit!
And he just starts laughing, cackling.
All right. Well,
as soon as I can get my gun out to start shooting, you let me know.
Yep. Same.
And he's speaking in like a weird tongue that you don't understand. He's like, it's like chanting, and
I run his ass over.
Oh, this is getting real goofy. This is getting real goofy. And
This
then
is
Charlie's like
This is
backing
Larkin.
up.
So I'm standing there the whole time, picturing like I'm seeing as like Indiana Jones's dad, Henry Sr. And I'm just standing there eating my sandwich, just observing everybody, all this stuff going down. And as this dude starts chanting, I casually pull out the pistol out of my pocket and shoot while I'm still eating the sandwich.
pulls their pieces and just unloads on Larkin. I love it.
Shooting this guy.
When his head whipped back and he opened his eyes, like a gust of wind came through the valley that you're sitting in, and it's gotten darker and colder all of a sudden. And yeah, so he's chanting in some odd tongue and laughing, and everybody unloads.
And a truck runs him over.
And a truck backs into him. Wow. Welcome to Pulp Cthulhu. Right?
Yeah, you can just assume a hail of bullets fills this dude's chest, like that scene in RoboCop where he dies in the beginning.
Yeah, right?
God.
Gets his hand blown
Gets
off.
gets shot like 50 times, you know?
Yeah, like, we don't need to roll for damage. We don't need to roll to hit. Like, it's fine. So you guys just unload on Larkin. Like, some of you guys are point blank. You're staying right next to him, right? Like, Charlie and Max are right next to him.
And
Sean
Max
starts unloading from across the way. Henry, you're next to him also. You led him back.
Yeah.
And Harrison just on the horn and then chucks this thing into reverse and goes backwards towards you after you all unloaded him. So yeah, wind starts to gust through there. It gets dark. He's chanting. You guys are unloading. As you're unloading your bullets into him, he continues to chant, and you see this whirling, almost portal-like thing forming behind him. As he's chanting, and you guys are unloading, he's not dropping right away, and he continues, and he's just smiling and speaking this weird tongue. And as he's doing so, you can see this bizarre, weird thing, almost like clamoring through as he's speaking. But you guys managed to take him down and run him over before he finishes what he's doing. And this thing is halfway through, and it's misshapen. Like, there's like a leg where an arm should be, and its arm is coming out of its head. And you could tell whatever he was doing, he didn't get to finish. And you kill him, and this portal closes and cuts this thing off in half, and it's lying on the ground, withering and shrieking in front of you. I need all of you to make me sanity checks.
I was going to say...
and we unload into that, too.
Yeah.
So Charlie is the one that had his hand in his mouth, so he is definitely probably going to fail the sanity check just based on the situation. I don't know yet, but we'll find out.
That's power, isn't it? Or is it
He
you click the
passed.
sanity button?
It's the sanity button.
Okay, so Charlie's just going, what the hell, what the hell, what the hell, like over and over and over again, like during the whole like scene that you just described.
And after seeing this, I'm in the middle of about to take another bite of my sandwich, and I just kind of look down at it and look at that, and then just drop my sandwich being done.
All right, so everybody who passed with a success, you lose 2 sanity. And who failed?
Henry.
Henry, go ahead and roll me a d6. You lose 3 sanity. And you've got a bout of madness. Go ahead and roll me a d10. Nine. Okay, you start. You gain a phobia based off of this.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a phobia.
heroin.
A phobia of what though is the question.
heroin.
What you just
Shark
witnessed.
teeth.
Shark teeth, demon
Shark-
ghouls coming through portals.
I just think,
Sandwiches.
I was just thinking like sharp maws, like sharp teeth. Sharp-toothed animals or something might be a good one based on the situation.
Or drugs. Heroin. You just shot this dude up, and now you're seeing these bad things, even though you didn't take the drug.
Heroin is
Needles.
the word. This is like a fucking truth commercial.
For real.
Truth commercial directed by Rob Zombie.
Can't even be around junkies anymore.
So go ahead and roll me another d10. Okay, that's not so bad. That's the number of hours that you're out. You're deliberated or debilitated. Thank you, debilitated by this phobia that you've just gained. So Henry's like a gibbering mess right now, standing there. We can discuss, or if you have an idea, Henry, of what you want that phobia to be, I'm fine with that as well. Or we could talk after session if you want it to be heroin or drugs, or you want it to be, I don't know. It's gonna be something. It has to be something you're gonna encounter again, or at least you think you'd encounter again. You need to have a real fear here. So, but yeah, he's a mess right now, Henry. Just going on and on about something or other and making no sense.
Are we in a car yet? Are we in the trucks?
You're in the field. You're standing there in the field as this thing came through. Harrison has run it over, and this thing is lying there in the field, just twitching and like, just making these horrible sounds.
Back over it a couple times.
So Max draws his sword. In the meantime, Harrison's maneuvering the truck and has just run this thing over multiple times.
Charlie's gonna go over to whoever's not doing something. Who's currently not doing anything?
Henry.
Henry,
Okay.
John.
All right, so I walk over to that group and I'm just like, did we just see a drug fiend turn into an actual fiend? Is that what just happened?
Can I make a mythos check to see if I know what he was doing, what was happening?
Sure.
Because seriously, that was the most fucked up thing I've ever seen in my life. Even more fucked up than that dude's mouth.
So, is the partial body still there from this thing?
It is, but it's pretty damn squished by this big truck that he's just been backed over and run over multiple times, right, Harrison? That you're just like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
One of the driver without the shot foot gets up and starts like trying to flee. He's screaming, and he's trying to get away. I can't remember if you tied him up or not. If you did, he's like hopping away or crawling or rolling, and he's just screaming at the top of his lungs, insanely. And the other one seems fine. So there's this terrible, horrible screaming also of now the driver, who is going mad and trying to flee. I don't know if you want to try and stop him, or let him go, or shoot him like you do with everyone else, or run him over with the truck. But he is trying to flee right now and screaming and shrieking at the top of his lungs. Dear Lord, what have I just witnessed? What is going on? Why did I sign up for this? What unholy place is this?
Yeah, we should probably stop him, someone.
Nobody
Oh yeah.
volunteers.
Oh no, Charlie will definitely run him down. He's going to try the same move he used on the old lady last time.
Yes, redemption with the drop kick. Yeah. You
Nice.
totally do.
So he runs.
Yeah.
So he's running through like a track star, past all of the chaos, and he we'll say there's a boulder nearby. He
Mhm.
hops up and then pounces onto the boulder and off of it, doing like a flying kick through the air, and basically just drop kicks this guy
Oh
to the ground.
Yeah. And you level him, like he just falls, just crumples underneath you, and he's just gibbering, insane.
All right, I'm going to I'm gonna rip off some fabric off of his shirt or something and stuff it in his mouth.
Just gag him. Quiet you.
Yeah, shut the hell up. And then I'm gonna drag him by his ankle back over to the rest of the group.
Okay. Yeah, you drag him back.
And then once I get back, I'm gonna look at the other driver. It's like, was you hired by this crazy monster thing to kill us, or just to drive?
So the one who is trying to flee is just like, no, wait, and the other one too, like the two of them are just like, no, don't kill us, we don't know what the hell's going on. What was that thing? What? I knew I should have come to Peru. This place is messed up.
Yeah, it is pretty lonely down here.
What the hell was that thing?
Karishri or something like that. I don't know. I don't speak no Peruvian, but listen, it's basically. God, I'm sorry, that's so stupid. But all right, but he's like but yeah, it is pretty loony down here, but we're trying to figure something out. So if you want to keep driving these trucks, we'll pay you more than this guy, and we'll protect you from anything that looks like that.
Why do you have a head in a sack?
Oh, because it's one of those things. We killed it. That's the second one we killed. If you're gonna be in Peru at all, why not be around some people like us that can kill these things?
What are you referring? What are you referring to as the other Karisi?
Just the headless thing, and then this weird fiend thing that we just killed. My character just assumes they're the same thing.
Gotcha. I wasn't sure if you were referring to Larkin or that thing or what.
Just both of them, basically. Like we've killed both of them. Stick around with us. I'm basically trying to use persuade or something. Mostly persuade. I have a very terrible persuade, but I'm still trying to do it. Just trying to persuade them that
it's not hard. You have them at gunpoint, and they just witness some terrible shit.
I want whoever's able to keep driving for us.
Henry, you might want to look at this. I'm assuming an ex-soldier would have some field experience. This man's foot probably needs some attention.
Yeah.
Henry makes one of those spit bubbles with mouth.
You guys can attempt a first aid to help the driver out who's been shot, to try and tend to the wound.
I'm really sorry about that, mister. It was critical that we got you subdued before we dealt with that. I hope you understand.
No, you shot me. No, I don't understand. He screams at you.
Hey, at least he didn't shoot you in the head, all right?
Well, you see what just happened. We weren't quite sure who was in league with him and what kind of danger you posed.
I mean, can we get past this?
We good, bro?
And Max will glance down at his handgun and look back at him.
As you're taking pictures. Remember, pictures or it didn't happen.
What's that?
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Yeah. Oh, well, pictures. He's taking pictures of all the good. He's not taking pictures of the guy he shot. I mean, that's self-incriminating. No, but he's taking pictures of the demon and the other demon. And
you've heard Charlie tell you multiple times to keep his face out of those damn pictures.
I like that. Yeah. Charlie reminds you.
Which one's the big game hunter?
Henry.
That's Henry.
Henry, get over here with this thing. Hold it up. We'll put this one up on your wall.
Hold it up.
With the mangled demon thing?
He's a big game hunter. This is the best game ever. This is game that's never been hunted ever before.
It's also a dripping, sopping mop of meat.
Yeah, you
Henry-
are going insane, Max.
Henry crawls under the lorry.
Yeah, nice. Jackson Elias is here, and he's like, fellas, what the hell just happened? What was that? Are we still doing this? Like,
Yeah, we hijacked the thing like you wanted. You said you wanted to see this thing through. We saw it through.
No, I did not say like this. I said we continue on to Puno, where I know someone. I have a contact there, and we could.
Your contact's still there.
We can find the pyramids. I'm sure we didn't need to shoot and kill him. And what was that with Larkin?
Anyway, look, regardless of what your plan was, our plan revealed that this thing was traveling with us.
I think we can all agree it was not smart to be traveling with this thing, right? It could have led us right into some kind of trap.
You're not wrong, but I think we might have been able to go about this a different way.
Yeah, we didn't have to shoot this other guy. I didn't shoot the other one though. Right guy. And I point to the guy that I didn't shoot. And I'm like, look, I tell him I didn't shoot you.
It's a flesh wound.
Yeah, he's gibbering on the ground. He's still frightened, and he wants to get away, but you've hog-tied him and stuffed things in his mouth. Also, you've gagged him.
I'll pull the gag out once after like an awkward amount of time passes. I'm like,
get me out of here! I don't want to do this job anymore. There's no money in it. I'm not going to get paid. Let me out of here. I'll walk back to Lima.
I'm gonna kick him in the face.
Hey, Matt.
Yes.
One thing I'd like to do. I just rolled my occult.
Sure.
I'd like to spend my luck up to the point where I need to succeed that roll.
So you want to spend 34 of your luck? Okay. No, that's your fight. You want to spend 28. Okay.
28 of my luck to determine the nature of the spell he was casting. Whatever I can learn about the incantation.
This would not. I will tell you this before you spend the points. This is Mythos.
Okay, so
skill
so
would fall
nothing in
under-
the occult.
No.
Nothing in the occult would
No.
overlap. Okay, that's fine then. Never
So
mind.
don't bother spending them points.
Okay, so I went to kick the guy and failed by brawling.
Oh, I was
check.
just gonna give it to you. He's lying on the ground, hogtied.
Okay, never mind. Just wanted to make sure.
It's just
I
like
figured that
it's just a cheap shot. Yeah, you just hoof him. Am I your
Yeah, just to make
prisoner
him
now?
shut up.
Do you what? Just
No,
let me
I was
go.
trying to offer you a job. We need you to drive the damn truck still.
Yeah, after some time, he's frightened for his life, and he agrees. There's no other options. Obviously, he's asked to be let go, and you guys continue
How much were you paid?
to beat him?
How much was Larkin paying you per day?
$5 a day.
I'll pay you 10. I'll pay you what he was gonna pay us. How about that?
Fine, just stop beating me.
Actually, he was gonna pay us $10.50. You know what? I'll be an honest Joe today.
Oh, just stop beating me and don't kill me.
Oh no, wasn't planning on it. Beating you though. That was part of the agenda. If we needed to.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna like stuff the thing back into his mouth and sort of like
sure.
leave him there until we decide to move on, and then I'll undo all of his restraints and
Right.
hand him the keys back.
He's subservient to you now. You've basically broken him.
We're dark
Like a
heroes.
horse.
We're dark heroes.
Yeah, you guys are terrible. Larkin.
It was like 3 of us are criminals or some shit. I don't know.
Larkin. Let me see what Larkin has on him. Larkin. What do you have on you?
Heroin.
Yeah, he's got a vial of heroin and a syringe, that's for sure.
We can make poison blow darts out of that.
Man.
You know, this dude's lucky I didn't use my brass knucks.
Jeez.
My brass knucks.
Yeah, those are in my pocket, and those are for special occasions.
Yeah,
Like if I'm just like decking a dude randomly, I'm gonna roll fighting brawl. But if I'm like full on going into a fight, it's gonna be brass knucks.
So you just don't find anything on him other than a revolver, his wallet, and that's it. His pockets are empty. Oh, and the vial of heroin and the syringe.
Anything in his wallet that's of interest?
No, you searched his wallet previously in his room, and it was empty. Just had some identification on it.
Charlie's gonna take his shoestrings.
Okay, you take his shoestrings. um, he does have though. You didn't notice the last time because he had an undershirt on when he was in his bed. But you're looking him over right now, and he has a very large tattoo, like in his midsection, which I'm looking for the description of here, and unable to locate, of course. But yeah, I can find that here. We can move on. What else do you guys want to do?
Have we searched the trucks thoroughly to see what he had packed in here?
You haven't, but well, I guess Harrison could have looked in them when he was going through the trucks, and it's standard gear for the type of expedition you're going on.
So yeah, let's keep going.
Keep on trucking. Okay,
Literally.
so he has on his body. I found it here. Of course, when I needed, I couldn't find it. A large tattoo on his torso. It is the tattoo is an abstracted form. It's round. It resembles a large ragged spiral that covers. It goes all the way up to his chest, radiating out from the center of his sternum. The spiral ends above his diaphragm, where it connects to a stylized, misshapen humanoid figure with large, outstretched hands that appear to end in claws. Go ahead, anybody who wants, to make me a Cthulhu Mythos roll to understand what this image is that they are seeing.
Hell yes.
Oh, Merrick, you roll enough, you're gonna get it. This is the symbol of a organization or a cult known as the Bloody Tongue, an ancient god, or no, it's an ancient god known as the Bloody Tongue, worshipped by a Kenyan cult of the same name.
This is quite odd to see him here. This is there's a cult in Kenya that worships the blood. What is the blood god? Is it
The Bloody Tongue is the name of the god and the cult.
called the Bloody Tongue? I'm not sure what they would have to do here in Peru, but I have seen this stylized tattoo before.
Are they a death cult?
It's a critical success. What do I know about it?
That's all I know about it. That's all it's written there. But I can get you more information. You have a critical success. I'll if we need to, I'll dig it up for you afterwards and give it to you. Because you would be aware of more than just a name and a location with a critical success. But the plot thickens.
All right, so I'm gonna sit in the passenger seat of the truck that I shot the window out, just to make sure that driver follows properly, doesn't try to run it off the road.
Okay. Oh, sounds good. This is the brilliant thing about being able to run games online with a virtual tabletop and Google at your hands. The Cult of the Bloody Tongue is a fanatical group of people who reveres the Bloody Tongue avatar of Nyarlathotep. Central Cult is based in Kenya, though offshoot branches may exist in other African countries. And the cult has a sizable following among the Nandi people of Western Kenya. And the membership is usually confined to African natives. It's unusual to see foreigners. That is what you know about the Bloody Tongue, John Merrick.
That's awesome.
Did we happen to know if Larkin? Do we know his backstory? did he spend time in Africa?
You didn't really get a chance to know him. You spoke to him that one night. You crashed into his room when he was passed out, and that's it. You never really delved into his past or his history.
We never really got the chance. Okay.
Yeah,
You got
before
pictures, didn't you?
Oh yeah, take some pictures of that tattoo. Look at John Merrick finally making that Cthulhu Mythos roll.
I didn't have a tick box for that. Can Mythos not go up that same way?
That's a great question. I know that Cthulhu Mythos typically goes up by finding tomes and studying and reading tomes, but I can look into that after session if that's one of the skills that's rollable. Unless, do you know off the top of your head, Bert?
Well, I do know that every time your Cthulhu Mythos goes up, your sanity, your highest sanity goes down. So like that 99 that everybody has as a cap goes down every time you get Mythos. I'll look it up though.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you knew.
That must be why mine's like at 89.
Typically, it is through studying tomes is how you get that stat up. But yes, you also lose parts of your sanity and your humanity when you do study those tomes. So cool. So yeah, John relays this information to you. So now the plot thickens. You have a Kenyan death cult tied to this that reveres and worships Nyarlathotep. And Jackson Elias is fascinated by this. He is just questioning you like mad, and he's writing things down in your book. Go on. A death cult by the name of the Bloody Tongue, and he's just taking down all the information you can give him. He's like, oh, it looks like my next book is shaping up here. I'm going to Africa next for the next one.
So
Let's
you
find these pyramids first.
So you're gonna make sure to keep me out of this book, right? You gonna or use a different name at least?
I always use aliases. Don't worry, friend.
You mind
Protect
if I
the
come up with
innocent.
it?
Sure. What do you want? And he sits there with his pen outstretched, or his pencil and his notebook, waiting.
Dirk Sparrow.
Sparrow. He cocks his head and he takes his pipe and puffs away at it and cracks a little half smile out of the corner of his mouth. Dirk Sparrow it is.
Thank you.
Makes note of it in his book. He says, fellas, we've spent enough time here, and I'm a little concerned if someone should come across this scene, if you know what I mean. Perhaps we should be moving on.
Definitely. Let's get out of here.
Yep, let's saddle up. Who know? Are our drivers sticking with us?
Well, one of them wants to leave, but Charlie's not letting him. And the other one is bleeding out. Did anybody do a first aid to try and dress that wound?
If Henry, he's got the better skill, but is there like an assist?
Yeah, you can assist. That would give him, it's the same thing as like advantage. In 5e, you get to roll.
It's just a flesh wound.
Roll two 2d10s and take the better of the two. Yeah.
I mean, but they're going to need...
Sorry, go ahead.
He's going to need both feet to drive these trucks. And you shot him in a... He can't drive.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's the clutching gas.
Yeah. What do you want to do with him?
Keep him with us, obviously.
Bandage him up. I'll help you. Henry, can you help?
Henry's still a loony right now.
Oh,
yes, for an hour. Yeah. He's gibbering.
Okay, well, I'll attempt it. Does anybody else have first aid or medicine?
With all the talk of bringing them with him and patching him up, Max will uncock his gun.
What?
No,
I was like, are you shooting him?
Put him down, boss.
All right, John, you look it over, and yeah, you look at it, and it is.
This guy's gonna die.
Flesh wound, but you can't stem the bleeding. You're like, I can't do anything with this.
You've hit an artery.
Yeah.
Charlie.
No arteries in the foot. I mean, there's nothing there.
Charlie walks over, and yeah, he corrects. He's like, yeah, there's no artery here, and
I've shot a hemophiliac, maybe, but I mean,
I've had to patch up a couple of my boys before, so
yeah. That's a good point, Charlie.
Now listen, guy. Here's the deal. I forgot to get your name. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna clear you out a spot in the back of one of these trucks, and you're gonna lay down, all right? And you're gonna get better, and then you can help us drive, maybe on our way back.
Yeah, sure. It's Leonard. Just don't shoot me again.
No problem. Here's the deal, though. I'm probably gonna tie you to whatever I'm laying you down on, so don't want you going nowhere.
Don't put me back there with that. And he points to the head that's lying on the ground. Don't put me with that.
Oh no. We probably could just kind of kick this off to the side, you know. Yeah, Charlie's gonna kick that head in the bush, like right after he even says.
We can leave it with the otherworldly bodies that are piling up.
Yeah. You're just gonna leave all of these things lying here in this clearing, and other than the
Someone's
head that you're
gonna-
kicking into the bush.
Yeah, we'll leave it there for someone to go insane upon looking at.
Some alpaca's gonna eat it and become a demonic creature.
Charlie's actually gonna take one of his flasks of oil and cover the pile and set it on fire before we set out.
Okay. Yeah. You pile it all together and set it ablaze. Sure. That works for me. So you guys get back in the trucks. You've got the one that you intimidated, right, Charlie? He's back in the truck driving. Are you now in the cab with him, keeping him in check
Yeah.
rather than the back?
Yeah,
Or Henry was in there, but Henry is a mess right now.
Yeah. Henry can hang out somewhere else. He can hang out in the back with the sick guy, or the sick quote unquote guy, and make sure he doesn't
shot.
run off. He's
Harrison,
ill.
you're still
Lead
in your truck. You're
poisoning.
still driving yours. The second truck doesn't have a driver because he is quote unquote sick. Max was sitting there.
That.
Max gonna drive.
Max will drive that. Yeah, Max will drive it because he's. Is there a skill for that, or is it assumed he can drive a truck?
No, there's a skill.
Drive auto.
Really?
Yeah, it's an arts and crafts skill. I just looked at Harrison's character sheet. He's really good at it.
All right. Well, Harrison can drive then.
He is driving a truck.
All right. Well, I've got a 20 in it, so apparently I've not driven a lot.
Mr.
I imagine.
Shooty over here now has to pay for his mistakes.
Right.
I'm assuming skill checks would only be if there was like an issue, like
Yes.
The
It's not
range
gonna
style.
just drive the truck. I'm not gonna make you roll for it.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't try and ramp it over like a house or something. We'll be good.
AC.
Got it. I won't be new nothing fancy, boys.
No GTA.
That's great. Okay. Wow, that played out much differently than I thought it would, but I love it.
Pulp.
Good times. Pulp. Yeah, that's right. We're more shooty. So you guys drive on for the next 2.5 days uninterrupted. You're a little uneasy for the trip, obviously, through what you've experienced. But you are gaining and climbing altitude as you go. As doing such, I am going to actually need you all to make me rolls to see if you're affected by altitude sickness. Everybody go ahead and make me a con roll. Oh, yeah, make me a con roll. You guys are going from sea level to like thousands of feet above sea level. So did anybody fail? No. You
I
guys
did, but
John
I'll spend the 5 points of luck to make it a success.
Okay, spend the
Yeah,
5. John?
same. I'm going to spend 6 points.
Okay, very good. So you guys aren't affected. You guys are driving, and Jackson, who's done this before, traveled here before, sees that both John, you and Harrison are having a bit of trouble. You guys are getting a little nauseous. You're getting a little dizzy. You're having headaches. You're needing to stop for breaks more often because you're tired. And he says, "Oh, I see you fellas are getting hit by a little bit of altitude sickness. One of the cures here is the locals. They chew on some cocoa plant, and he actually has some with him. He's like, I got hit by it hard last time, and he gives you guys some to gnaw on, and it helps with the effects. So you guys continue on, and you make your way towards Puno. As you get closer to the city or the town, the countryside surrounding it is a city. You encounter a number of farms with stables, There is crops such as maize and potatoes and quinoa growing in the fields here that dominates the fields. You also see quite a few farmers that have alpacas and llamas, herds of those in fields. And you have not seen anybody of Western origin at all in these last 3 days. And as you're getting closer and closer, you are an uncommon sight, the whole bunch of you. You stand out like a sore thumb. Jackson says that he when I was here last, I made a contact. We should seek her out. She should be able to help us find this pyramid. She warned me of these vampires last time, and I didn't buy it, given it's malarkey. But my views have since changed, thanks to you fine gentlemen. But her name is Naira. And she is what they call a yatiri, or
She a young doll.
no, she is an elderly woman. She is a yatiri it's a wise woman or a healer. So she's not a young lady. He chuckles.
Charlie's like, just wondering.
She's not a young lady, Dirk.
Dark Sparrow. Man, I love that name. Don't you guys love that name? And then I look over to the. I assume we're taking like a break at this point during our long journey. I look over to the driver that I've been holding up hostage, and I'm like, "Isn't that a good name?"
He's
They're just sort of.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, sure, pal. Good name. Yeah, you guys have parked like on the outskirts of Puno to kind of get your bearings and figure out what to do. Now that you're here. And you need to find these ruins. You need to find this pyramid. So yeah, he suggests, okay, we got to track her down. She warned me last time I was here of De Mendoza that he was one of these things, and she was right. So I think we should follow up with her because she might have some more valuable information that we could use on this expedition, given what took place 3 days ago that we haven't really spoken about since, fellas.
How do you know she's not one of these things?
I don't. That's a good question.
We should be on our guard. That's all I'm saying.
Well, she was aware of these vampires. She warned me that they were tracking me. And
sounds like something a vampire would do.
Well, why don't we be on our guard then, friend? We know how to take care of them. And if push comes to shove, he nods over to Max. We have a Carisi Slayer in our midst.
Yeah, well, I dropkicked that guy.
Yeah, you sure did. He's sitting right next to you as you say that.
You mean
I dropkicked that guy.
Charlie, you mean Abuela?
No, what do you thought? No, I didn't try kicking that lady. I lost my balance.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys are approximately, it was approximately 800-mile journey that you guys took. So you're tired. It's a long journey here to Puno. Look for my description of Puno.
Charlie chuckles every time someone says Puno.
Puno. It's a rather large city. There is a massive church at the center of it.
Right next to Titicaca?
It is near the shores of Lake Titicaca. You're not wrong.
Okay.
So it actually stretches from the shores
of
Lake Titicaca. Yes. It is.
I wonder if the lake floods. Never mind. That's a bad joke. I'm going to stop myself there.
The majority of the buildings you see are low 1 to 2 story structures made from stone or brick, and the streets become increasingly narrow and more maze-like as you get deeper and deeper into the city. Like I said, you can see a large cathedral, even from the outskirts of the city here towards the center. Jackson says, "Hey, I've got some acquaintances here. Why don't I ask around to see if she's still here? Last time I was here, I suggested that she maybe lay low, maybe she'd take off with all this talk of vampires and everything else that was going on in this area, I thought, she should take some precautions. So let's see if she's here. We'll stop by her house, and if she's not, I'll ask around to see where she's at. So he guides you to her house, and as he expected, she's not there. She's vacated. And he says, "Well, she took me up on my advice. I'm happy to hear. With all these vampires running around." And he says, "I know some folks who are loyal to her. Let me ask around and see what's going on." So he takes off to the streets, and he says, "I'll be back in an hour or two." So you guys are free to wander the streets of Puno if you want. If there's anything you want to do or see while you're here.
Charlie's just gonna be super on edge and try and go find like a pub to sort of relieve that a bit.
Yeah, you can find a watering hole, no problem.
Is that cathedral Catholic cathedral by chance?
Do you want to wander to the plaza and see?
Yes.
Okay,
It most definitely probably would be in Peru.
Charlie, you find a watering hole, no problem. And you sit down there, even though you do not speak the language, and you are looked at very strange. Like, there are no Westerns here whatsoever. Like, you stand out like a
Not
sore
to mention,
thumb.
I have like safari gear on.
You do have safari gear.
And like I'm all khakied out and everything, got the hat and everything.
Despite not speaking the language, you're able to pantomime and mimic and make hand actions, gestures to tell him that you want a drink. So he gets you a drink.
I'll pay for a drink for whoever else might have come with me, if anyone did.
Henry actually is gonna go with Charlie this time.
This time. Yeah.
We're both really on edge. Probably we're both probably just like we need a beer,
Harrison will join you with that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get Charlie's not trying to get hammered. Charlie just needs a beer.
Yeah. So if the group of you take off to go drink, John, I'm assuming that you would go off with Max to go take a look at this cathedral at the center of town. That would probably do more than having a drink in a bar.
Yep.
In Puno. You guys take off to the center of town. Unfortunately, none of you speak Spanish. Wentworth is your Spanish-speaking guy, and so is Jackson.
What about? Hold on. Where's the rider, dude? Does he come with us?
Your hostages?
No, the rider. What's the guy that?
He's
Jackson.
Gone off.
He's gone off. Yeah, to go try and track down Yatari. His local contact, his healer / wise woman.
That's right. We're not looking for a Spanish-speaking person. We want Max figures is either a Franciscan or a Jesuit, if that's a cathedral, if that's a Catholic cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll make note of which bar it is, and then we'll head for the cathedral.
Sure.
So now, if we're going to the cathedral, I speak Latin, so I could probably speak to a priest.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out.
They're
learned men. That's good.
Halfway. I got 51.
Sure. So I will. Here, I'll link you this. Boop. This is. You guys head over there. Yeah, you guys try to communicate with folks there and such, and you don't have much luck. But there's some images I dropped in the Discord. Fortunately, it's not as easy to drop something like this into Fantasy Grounds, but there's pictures of the actual cathedral. That is the Cathedral Basilica of St. Charles.
Can you post an image link into Twitch?
Yeah, why don't I grab a good image off of Google here? Copy image.
It's a lot more desert than I expected over there.
It's arid.
Let me drop that into Twitch. Paste. Oh, you can't. You can't do that.
Sorry.
It's okay. But yes, it is an actual cathedral. So there you go. That is what you see. You're not able to really talk to anybody there, unfortunately, even in Latin, to get much information. But it is Roman Catholic. If you want to get a lay of it, you can look it up there.
Who's our
Wikipedia.
Spanish speaker?
Your Spanish speaker's not here tonight.
Oh, okay.
He is away tonight. There's its Wikipedia for everybody in the Twitch. I posted it for you.
So I guess for all intents and purposes, we'll just say he wandered off with the writer guy, or he's like
Sure.
guarding the
He's
truck
with
or
Jackson
something.
Elias right now.
Okay,
I'll post
sorry.
the
I
Wikipedia in the description.
hardly will ever ask that. I'm just in this case curious.
He's sleeping. I don't know.
He's at a flop house somewhere taking a nap.
Sure. Sure. So you guys have a few drinks. The other ones go off to the cathedral, do some sightseeing. John, you're fascinated. This place is ancient. I think I read there in the Wikipedia, it was built in like 1757 or something like that. So you are like, oh, this is fantastic, and you're making notes and everything of this. This is very interesting to you. And after about an hour's time, you guys all regroup. Jackson Elias finds the four of you in the bar, and the other two come back, and he goes, okay, I got some information. The old lady, she did take off. She's hiding. There are villages in the water of the lake nearby, and she's hiding out in one of those. So we'll have to acquire a boat. I know where she's staying, and we can go see her and hopefully get some more information. So why don't we make our way to the docks, and let's get chatting. Unless there's anything else you fellas want to do.
Sounds good.
Yes, sounds good.
Yeah. So you guys make your way over to the dock area, and again, the whole way there, people are pointing at you. They're staring at you. You have some people like walking behind you, kind of following you for short distances and then stopping. Like, you guys really, really, really stand out. You're not too sure if these people are maybe tracking you or not, or if they're just curious locals who are following you. But you guys make your way to the docks, and Jackson is your translator, and he bargains to rent a boat to paddle over to one of these villages where he's tracked down Naira, was her name, or Naira, to go to speak with her. While he's chatting with the gentleman to rent a boat, why don't you guys all go ahead and make me a spot hidden roll as you're standing there, kind of taking in the sights.
I'm gonna spend my luck to pass.
Sure.
It was only 9.
A whopping 9 points. Okay, so
I was at 99, so
everybody who succeeds, you see a middle-aged woman, a local, and it looks like she's pretending to not really pay attention to you, but at the same time, she is clearly fixated on the group of you. You also see a young man, looks like he's in his late teens, on the opposite end of the docks that you're at. And he is also watching the group of you intently. And from time to time, the two of them shoot glances at one another and then pretend like nothing happened and try to go back to being incognito. But whoever passed, the two of them clearly stick out to you that they are watching you.
okay. Charlie is definitely a man of action.
Okay.
That's how I would define him.
Jesus.
Jeez.
You're in a crowded, very busy, middle of the daytime dock area. I'm just saying. Okay.
Man of action, not a man of shooting specifically. But I'm gonna grab my meanest looking pal. Who would that be?
The meanest looking of the two of them?
I'm saying I'm gonna grab my meanest looking pal.
Probably
who in
Max,
the group would,
maybe? I don't know.
Max.
Harrison's a pretty rugged individual as well.
Okay, well, I'm gonna grab Max. I mean, his last name's steal. I mean, fine. I'm gonna grab Max and say, "Come with me. Come with me."
The Adventures of Dirk Sparrow and Max Steel.
Yeah, he nods and says,
let's-
"Yeah,
let's-
I saw him. What do you got in mind?"
Let's go. Just have a word with him.
I bet if we break off, one of them will follow us.
That's might be a good idea too. Let's try not to make eye contact with them. How about I walk past and just and if that happens, you go and talk to the other one, and I'll kind of lead the other one away.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
You
And
guys,
so turn back to the other group and try and get the rest of the group to follow me while he sort of waits behind and observes the other person, maybe.
yeah, do you guys follow him?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you guys kind of start to walk away, Jackson Elias turns around and is like, "Where are you guys going? I just got us a boat. Why are you walking away?"
We're being followed, and we're gonna try and figure out
Well,
why we're being followed first before we get on a boat.
well, why don't we just go to these islands? We can, if they're following us, we'll be on the water. We'll clearly see them.
I have a faster boat. You never know.
They're probably just curious locals.
Yeah, probably. And you just get this sort of sarcastic look from Charlie, like, what sort of stupid idea is that? I thought you were smart. Anyway, all right. So, yeah, Charlie is going to basically lead the group of people further down the dock to try and lure one of them away, or just to basically see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And who was it that was going to stay behind? Which character was it?
I think it was Max Steel who's staying behind.
Yeah, Max. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so the group of you, excluding Max and Jackson, break off, and you go down a street and an alley, and you just kind of take some turns here and there and try to blend with the crowd. It's not easy because everybody's kind of like pointing and watching you. But you look back over your shoulder from time to time, and you are being trailed by that middle-aged woman that you saw there. You can see her trailing behind, keeping a distance.
Okay, so Max was.
Max is going to go a different way.
Okay.
And he's not gonna look. He'll use like shop windows, and other reflective surfaces to look behind him to make sure he's being followed, and then he'll lead his person into a quieter spot in the city, and then once he turns a corner, he'll get set up in a blind spot and he'll wait for him to walk past.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys stay behind, and do you tell Jackson to go with you? And Jackson Lyons to go with you,
with me,
or to stay on the dock, because he's staying on the dock. So you just brokered this boat. He's like, "What are you guys doing?"
I'll just tell him to stay with the boat. I said, I'll be back in a minute or two. If you hear a shot, don't be alarmed.
Hold the boat, basically.
Sure. Yeah. So you break off and you do this, and why don't you roll me a spot hidden there, Max?
All right.
The way you're going about this stealthily. Yeah, you succeed. You're looking and this and that, and the other one is not tailing you.
No?
No.
Are there any spare, I don't know, stray children kind of running around?
Or just children in the street? Is that what you're asking?
Like,
You ready to drop
street
kick a kid now?
Yeah.
No. Street
I'm
urchins.
not sure, I don't know where this is going, but
But you don't like it.
no.
No. I was gonna pay like a kid to be a distraction, basically.
That's what you do. Just pay kids. Here's
No,
some
I was
money.
just gonna like hand a kid like a couple of bucks and just be like, "Hey, go and go and push this lady in the water." And
there's
while
but you can
Drop
hand the
kick on a
money,
lady, kid.
but you don't speak the language.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you'd just be handing money and saying something in a foreign language, and the kid would run off with
That's
it.
true. I keep forgetting that. It's hard to deal with the language barrier in an RPG sometimes.
Yeah. Our Spanish speaking guy is out.
Okay, so I will just kind of loop back around, I guess, back to the. Just act like we were just kind of sightseeing.
Sure. Yeah, you guys loop back around. As you're coming back to the docks, you see Max is gone. Jackson is standing there on the docks, kind of, and he's looking impatient at this point. You dart your attention over to where the woman was. She's gone. You look over to where the kid was, and he's still standing there. And Max is nowhere to be seen.
Well, Max is heading back. If he's not followed, he'll come back again.
All right, so as you come back there and you guys are going back to the dock, you see Max come out from a street.
Max is just going to walk over to the kid.
You're just going to walk over to the guy in his late teens?
Yeah, and he's got his gun in his you know how they did it old school? They put it in their suit pocket.
Yeah.
And, you know, like in the side pocket, and then they kept their hand in it, so no one could see it. He's gonna walk over, and he's gonna say, "Hey, kid, what are you looking at?"
As you start to walk over to him, he starts to walk away at a hurried pace, and he ducks into an alley or street.
Max will follow. Max is gonna follow him.
Max, you're just gonna start breaking into a sprint and go after him?
Yeah, if he's gonna run, I'm gonna chase him.
Yeah. What is we got here? We got tracking. Yeah. Roll me a tracking roll. He's gonna go into the crowd and try to blend in as best as possible.
Can I spot hidden, or do I have to track?
You're gonna track.
All right, because the difference is about 80 points. All right.
I know. I'm looking at your character sheet.
That's not nice. All right.
Do you want to spend 56 of your
I will lose
99 luck? You're at max luck.
Yeah. All right, I'll head back to the boat.
Yeah, you lose them. You come back and the others are standing there, and you can see the middle-aged woman is standing, and she's watching you. And
I thought she ran off too. You said she didn't come back.
She didn't come back by the time you had been there. She has since come back now.
All right, well, then Max will head over to her.
Okay. And again, she takes off.
All right.
Do you want to try and track her?
Yeah, we'll see if
you guys are watching Max. Max comes back, then he sees the woman, he starts running after her. Like, what
We're
the
just
hell
observing.
Yeah, you're just...
Where's my big game hunter? I need him here to help me.
Well, nobody asked. Nobody even told him about this.
Yeah, you're just going off and running off on your own.
Well, yeah, all right. Well, Max will signal, like, she's getting away, and he'll point at her, like, help me out here.
So you try, and she's gone. And, maybe Henry eventually walks over, but they're both gone now.
All right. Max will say, well, we're being tailed, but whatever.
Jackson's like, are we done here? Can we get on with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can't be too careful, We've got we got demons. We're dealing with demons.
Okay?
Yeah,
demons and vampires. I get it, fellas. I was there. I get it.
We're all a little edgy. I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't be chasing these guys into the crowd.
Sure.
I definitely agree with what you did.
So you guys hop into the boat, and you can see these floating islands just off of the shore of Lake Titicaca, and there are settlements. There's people there. There's an offshoot of people who live out here, separate from those in Puno. And he's got some directions. He breaks out his little notepad. He's like, okay, we got to go here and this one, and he's directing whoever he's asked one of you to paddle, or two of you to paddle this boat, and he's giving you directions on where to go. So whoever agreed to paddle this thing.
Yeah, Charlie is fine with doing that.
Sure. So with the a little off here and a little off there, but he's like, okay, that's the one over there. As you guys are getting close to the house, you look behind you. Anybody who did that spot hidden, I'm not gonna make you do it again. You see a boat in the distance with two figures behind you. Silhouette of two figures.
I told you they would get a boat and follow us. So maybe it wasn't so stupid that Max Steele was chasing him around through the crowd there.
I say we go back and confront him.
Jackson
Why don't
says, we're here. We're fellas.
Yeah, let's land
We'll
the
see them
boat.
coming a mile away. Why don't one of you watch the door and you shoot them if they get closer? How does that sound?
That's perfect.
We're not against this.
I need a rifle.
He looks to
I will
Henry.
stand out.
Yeah.
I'll stand out here and I'll shoot them. What kind of boat are they moving across? Like a rowboat?
Yeah, it's just a small, thin rowboat.
Charlie looks over to Henry. He says, "Here, let me give you a boost. You can climb up on the roof, get you a good vantage point."
Oh, we got music.
Thank you, old sport.
Music.
And I climb up top on the roof with Henry's help,
There you go.
or with Charlie's help.
There's music for Lake Titicaca. I forgot we've had music for this whole thing that we haven't been using.
I thought mine was just too low.
No, I forgot about it.
Sirenscape shared my post on Facebook as well. Too,
We're using it now, Sirenscape. We love it.
We love you, Sirenscape.
So you guys are approaching on the house where she's rumored to be staying, Transatlantean. And a man comes out, and he's holding a shotgun, and he's like, you can tell that he's like warning you guys to stay away. You don't understand what he's saying, but Jackson stands up and he starts speaking to the man in Spanish, and after some time he lowers his gun. He's still on edge, and he allows you to dock with the house. Jackson explains that, hey, okay, so these vampires and everything, people are a little on edge. Rumors are flying around that they've made their presence known here in Puno as of recently. So anybody who's not a local, they think is a vampire. So keep that in mind, fellas.
Oh, well, that's okay. I think they're a vampire too, so we got that in common.
That means the old lady and the kid are probably just amateur vampire hunters.
There you go. So you guys are helped up onto this this floating town and this house that she's staying at. What do you want to do, Henry? You said you wanted to watch this boat. So what does that look like? And is everybody else going in? I should also ask.
Yeah, I'm going in. John is.
Yeah.
Mexico,
Is yeah, Henry's trying, but relatively well hit boat, solid watch vantage point, and if they get too close, Henry will shot, and that's, I mean, close is where they can like actually good dock. How big is like island?
That's a good question. It's a small island. There's a number of them. It's like a series of islands off the shore. So we'll say it's not massive. They're packed tight with houses, and it's roughly 60 feet in diameter. Like they're tiny little islands.
All right. If they start getting with, let's say, 60 feet, let me know.
You see the whites in their eyes. You take their head off.
Mhm.
The big game hunter. Okay, yeah. So you're gonna hang out. The rest of you are you're brought into this house. The man with the shotgun is following you. He follows you in. It looks like this is his house. When you enter into the house, you're in a common area, and sitting there at a table is a little old woman. Here, I'll share a picture with you. There is Nayra. And she sees Jackson, and she smiles. She gets up, and the two of them embrace, and they're speaking to one another in Spanish, and they're carrying on. And then it snaps. He realizes, he goes, "Oh, okay. This is Nayra. I met her last time I was here. She was the one that warned me of the vampires. She doesn't speak English. I could translate for you fellas. But I think she is going to be the key to finding this pyramid.
All right. Charlie is going to find the most comfortable chair in the room and go ahead and just have a seat in it.
Sure. She, So, Jackson starts relaying everything that has happened and taken place from when he's met you guys to getting here now. And she doesn't seem very fazed by what he is telling her, except for when it comes to the stuff with Larkin. That is a little takes her a little off guard. But everything to do with the Carisi and how you slayed it and you took off its head and things like that, and the rows of teeth. She's just sits there and nods her head, right? And she knows exactly what he's talking about. The two of them keep chatting, and you see Jackson writing down notes and pushing a book across the table to her, and you see her drawing. It looks like the lake, and it looks like a relief of mountains and a path. It looks like, and he turns to you guys and he's like, "Hey, this is it. She's telling us where we need to go."
I'll see if I can cross-reference it with anything I got from notes and stuff from the professor at the university with what he had.
Yeah. I'm going to switch this up. We actually have a track called Naira the Yatari, so let's put that on. Yeah, you cross-reference it, and it looks like he was pretty damn close when you study Jackson's notes and little map there that he had put together. The professor was right on the right trail. He asks the group of you, he's like, "Is there anything you'd like to ask her? Is there anything like you'd like to know? I'd be happy to translate."
Yeah, Charlie clears his throat and says, wondering if these things got a weakness. Anything that we should know that might help us and protect us.
He translates.
Any old tells.
Any old tale. Okay,
It tells for like warnings or riddles that she knows about, and
she has many tales. She relays something to Elias, and he says, "Hey, what we did there at the university is the way to dispose of these things." She claims. She fears for her life. She's hiding here, and for good reason. She claims that a number of them have descended on Puno recently, and they walk the streets. They could be our friends out there on the lake.
All right, I'm gonna ask her. Does she got anything to eat?
Yeah, she does have something to eat.
Starving.
She offers you what looks like pieces of dried meat that she's got there. She's got it on a plate sitting on the table, and she pushes it over to you, and she gestures to take a bite.
Charlie grabs like the whole piece and just starts eating it.
Yeah, you take one bite, and it's actually like it's dried wood that looks like meat, and she starts to laugh hysterically. And Jackson laughs. He's like, she got me with that one too when I first met her. She's
the hell?
She's a bit of a trickster, this one.
How many people have bitten this? That's disgusting. Jeez. And you got any of that giggle juice? Looks over at Harrison.
Of course.
You mind if I get a quick...
I'll hand over a flask. While we're speaking, though, any legends as to what we should expect up in that there temple?
Yes. Yes, she says. She proceeds to relay the tale of the pyramid. She tells an old story about how an ancient and evil god fell from the sky and landed in Lake Titicaca. It crawled out and brought hunger with it, devouring all it touched. The trickster hero, Ikeku, told the evil god where the most nutritious food could be found underground, showing it tubers and grubs. Akeko convinced the god from the sky, tempted by the food, to crawl into an old armadillo burrow. He then placed stones over the burrow, trapping the god below. Akeko told the people that this was now a sacred site and had them build a temple over it, binding it in place with spells worked in gold. She quotes when she says that. The god from the sky still lives underneath the temple to this day, and those who know of it are wise enough to avoid its tomb. She says, very few people from Puno go anywhere near this pyramid that you are heading out towards.
What would happen? Max asks this to be translated. What would happen if some of those golden inscriptions were removed from the temple?
She relays a tale of greedy conquistadors going to the temple and rumor that they removed a section, a piece of it.
And about 1543.
And those men were turned into the first Carisi.
Now,
That's wild.
Would returning that section of scripture to the temple fix anything, or does that not change anything?
She does not know. When you ask her that, she has no clue.
How many Carisi do you expect there are today? Can they make more, or is it just the original 3 that are left?
She says yes. They can make more. They can suck the life out of you, but they can also create new Carisi.
Was Larkin a Carisi?
He didn't cut open his mouth or anything.
He seemed different than the other one, right?
We could switch over to Vampire the Masquerade, no big deal. Yeah.
Does she have any idea what Larkin might have been?
She doesn't know who Larkin is.
Max will ask if she has a dark space that he could do some work.
Yeah, she motions to an adjoining room. So Charlie, you had asked about Carisi when you first came in. So she asks for more information. She says to Jackson, like, "Oh, you claim you were followed. What did these two look like?"
Well, was a young man, about 17, 18, something like that, and middle-aged, bit older woman. Both of them fast as hell. Our buddy Max couldn't catch them.
She leans back in her chair and she shakes her head. Like, no. She says, Carisi, they're tall white men who wear wide-brimmed hats. And they carry long knives that they use to butcher people and steal their fat. Or they drug people and extract the fat using magic and strange tools. No. Those two don't sound like Carisi.
We saw a thing use its mouth.
She says, yeah, she agrees. But she looks at the group of you and she goes, you stand out. The people here are very superstitious. They may think you are Carisi. You should be careful.
Do you know of any old talismans or protections to ward off these Carisi or other such creatures?
She shakes her head and relays, no, not that I'm aware of.
I was gonna say we could get some armor, but it didn't help those conquistadors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, she relays. She just keeps mentioning that they're white men.
Yeah. You keep saying white men. I get it.
So you asked about folklore and stuff about the area?
Yeah.
Okay. There are a number of bullet points here. She relays that according to the Incas, Lake Titicaca is the birthplace of humanity. In times past, the god Viroca, also known as Kontiki, I'm butchering these pronunciations, rose from the waters carrying humans with him. When Viroca had orchestrated the heavens by positioning the sun, the moon, and the stars, he commanded the humans to spread across the world. The people of the region saw the lake itself as a goddess, Mamakota, or Mother Water, and erected an idol in her honor. This idol, known as Kopaka Huna, was fashioned from blue-green stone and took the form of a fish with the head of a woman. Oh, that's not Lovecraftian at all. When the Spaniards conquered the area, they saw this worship as pagan, but worship of the goddess who fed the people with her bounty of fish was so deeply rooted that all they could do was replace her idol with a statue of the Virgin Mary. She is still venerated to this day. Another tale is wanderers should be wary of remains they may find in caves and on mountainsides, as they could be sleeping Mukukuna creatures made from bones. By day, they work the fields and fertilize the crops. Some believe this to be penance for the sins of the Mukukuna committed in life, as though their efforts and labor, they may regrow their flesh anew. Not necessarily dangerous, they may seek out humans willing to give them food. The main risk they pose is the wind that follows them, which is reputed to bring disease and bad luck. And finally, there are other creatures like the Makakuna that offer a more direct threat. The Sakasuke seek out humans not to repent of their sins, but to kill and eat them. And she muses and speculates that the Suke may somehow be related to the Karisi. And those are all the tales she tells you of local folklore in the area.
I'll take notes as is being translated.
And I was going to say, you are fascinated, Sean.
Yeah, Charlie is pretty intrigued at first, but then just dozes off.
Right. Yeah, she's just going on and on. She's just telling her old tales. She's a wise woman of the area, so she has many tales.
Max wants to show her the mask.
Okay. Do you have the mask? I think John has the mask.
Well, yeah, he points over to John and says, "Hey, let's show her the mask."
And I don't know if John's carrying it on him.
Oh, I would have not left that back where we were at. I would have wanted to keep that safe.
So that's with you, okay?
Don't worry, I can show her, but like, have you seen such as this? I don't let her touch it or put it on.
Or show her the backside?
Yeah, no. Just unveil like the front of it and kind of hold it with the cloth that it's in.
Yeah, she looks at it. And we're going to end off there because we have 5 minutes left. So we will perfect spot to leave off on a cliffhanger as you show her your mask. How does that sound?
Sounds good for me.
I shove it on her face.
Yeah, shove it on her face. So we are not playing next week Sunday, the 23rd. It is an off week. I am on vacation. I will not be here, so we're not playing. And then the following week, I don't know yet what we're going to do. We will see.
Cosmic Blades, probably, right?
Yeah, probably Cosmic Blades, because we put it off this week. We continue with Pulp Cthulhu. But we are damn close to finishing this prologue. Damn close. Thank you to those who joined us and continue to join us every week. As always, I'm having a great time playing this and running it. I hope the players are as well.
I love it.
Yeah, great.
Good stuff.
Doing unpredictable things and not yet going insane. But
it's my weekly Church of Cthulhu session.
Right. So, yes, we'll be back in 2 weeks with a Sunday night game. This Tuesday, we're wrapping up the one-shot / turned into two-shot of Alien So be sure to tune in for that at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Central. But yeah, thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night. As always, we appreciate you stopping by and playing along with us and interacting in the chat.
Thanks, everyone.
Everyone, good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.